go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Hey everybody, Dr. G here. I'm a clinical and forensic psychologist as well as a body language expert, and today we're going to be analyzing the behavior and body language that led up to the shooting of Alex Preddy.
I feel I should be up here.
A couple of quick things. One, I wanted to make sure you know this is not a psychological evaluation of any kind. These are just my opinions. In addition to that, I do want to remind you to like and subscribe.
Oh, thank God. I thought it was going to be an intervention
just like
for me.
this. All right, let's go. What we're going to be analyzing today is all of the behavior, body language, and psychology that led up to the shooting of Alex Preddy. Now, we're going to be looking at this from several different angles. I'm not going to be showing the literal shooting itself. I don't think that's helpful, so I'm not going to be showing anything gruesome,
come on,
but you will
pussy.
be seeing the altercation leading up to that, and we're going to be watching it numerous times as we talk about all of the different behaviors we see, and we're going to be looking at it from different angles. All right, let's just jump right in. Now, the first thing I'm noticing here are the whistle sounds. They are almost impossible for the brain to ignore. They're high-pitched, they're agitating, and they can lead to sensory overload.
They sound like my ex-wife.
With the loudness and the volume of these whistles, communication is going to get disrupted. Tensions are already going to be heightened just by that alone. So right here, you can see Alex Preddy has his
Woke says, don't get shot. That's why I moved out of the frame, Woke.
arm around this woman.
Whoa.
And then you can see that Border Patrol agent just pushed this one very hard. Now, I want you to keep this in mind.
What the fuck?
So he sees her, she's standing still, and he pushes her hard. Now, this is something I haven't seen a lot of people talk about, but this shows how much aggression is already building up in this situation. As you can see, she's not doing anything particularly confrontational at this point.
With you.
Now, if you can see, he actually walked out of his way to push her over. Watch the Border Patrol agent right here.
What is wrong with you?
So we watched this a few times over the weekend where we were covering the riots and stuff, and I gotta say, still, I have not seen anything where the gun was pulled on the agents. I have also not heard anything from Kristi Noem or anybody else that a gun was pulled. Everyone's kind of skirting around that answer. So if there was no gun pulled, we are in deep, deep shit right now.
He spots her. As she continues to talk, he starts stepping closer, and he pushes her with all of the force he's got. Now, I want you to keep in mind, from a law enforcement perspective, what a bad idea this is. Because if they're concerned that people are armed, if this was someone that was armed, that he was afraid could be armed and fatally shoot him or something like that, this would be the dumbest thing you could do, which would be to create a tremendous amount of space between you and a suspect, or you and someone that you think could hurt you. Now, the person that he just pushed over was not Alex Preddy. But the point is that this is not a safe activity for law enforcement to do. This is not advisable for law enforcement to just push somebody over. If they need to have some sort of intervention, if they're going to arrest somebody, they need to do it in a way that keeps them safe. This is not suggesting that they are acting in the safest manner possible.
What's wrong with you?
See, steps out of his way, just absolutely lunges
Yeah, we got it.
and pushes her over.
We got it. What's next?
So after she's fallen over, now you can see Alex Preddy turn and starts to confront this officer.
So Preddy's
Now,
in
agent
the
pulls out pepper spray or something.
Preddy's in. Well, we know we've all seen this.
Sort of
You don't need me
non-lethal
to do
spray.
this.
You can see he's got one hand up in a defensive posture. Alex Preddy has his head turned to the right. He's trying to avoid now. And as you can see,
What's up, Andy?
the
Welcome
officer
in.
continued to spray him
Send
in the
welcome
face.
in.
So it wasn't one spray and then back up or do something in order to make the situation safer. This agent, as he continues to try to spray him in the face as much as possible, is adding to the chaos of this situation. See, he's following him and continuing to spray him. Alex Preddy had his arm up in a defensive posture. He reached down. I presume he's trying to help her up right here. And then the Border Patrol agent pushes Alex Preddy.
Watch out,
So that's
Arya.
one
Don't
push.
get shot.
Spraying. Now a second push. So this Border Patrol agent is clearly very agitated right here. He's being confrontational. He's going out of his way to make things disruptive. This is not somebody who's trying to de-escalate. This is someone who is actively escalating the situation very, very quickly. All right, let's go back and look at this a little bit more. So he's being sprayed right there. He's trying to get away from it. He gets pushed. Now the woman that was pushed to the ground, she's standing up. She appears, I don't know if she's reaching for the Border Patrol agent or if she's trying to block the spray from coming at her, but you do see her arms go up. Now he's continuing to spray.
Where
Now,
are
this
those
is
whistles
confusing
coming
right here.
from?
It's very, very hard to see. It confused me a little bit the first time I saw it. You can see
What's up,
Alex
fun,
Preddy
fun,
right
fun?
here grabbing the woman that had been pushed to the ground. Now, I don't know if it's that he can't see and he thinks this is a Border Patrol agent. I don't know if he's trying to hold on so they can't pull him off. It's unclear what he's trying to do. But it almost appears that he's holding her aggressively, but I don't really think that that's his intent at this point. This is not a matter of defending him. It just doesn't really make any sense behaviorally in the context of what we've seen. See, she's getting dragged a little bit right here. He's continuing to hold on to her. And now all of the Border Patrol agents are pulling him down. At this point, I want you to think about what specifically has he done to get himself pulled over in this situation. The Border Patrol agent that now pushed somebody, sprayed somebody else in the face, pushed him again, is now pulling him off of her. He's pulling him off the ground. At this point, Alex Preddy has literally not done anything else. He has not been violent, hasn't pushed anybody. We can't hear what he's saying. Maybe he's saying something that's agitating, but we're not seeing any physical behavior from him at this point. That
What's up, Rowdy? Welcome in.
Police at all.
Well, he also could have been. He also could have been following these people all day long. Listen. I'm on the side of law and order, like we always are, my friends. But if there is no gun that is pulled, like I said, we are in trouble. If there is no gun that was pulled, or if the gun fired on its own, discharged accidentally, we are in a lot of trouble.
I'm going to mute the sound right here so you can just focus on the visuals. I want you to watch this again. So at this point, as you can see, this Border Patrol agent right here is looking for a fight. He seems very angry. I talked about the whistles. I talked about other elements. I don't know why he's so agitated, but he is aggressively pursuing these protesters.
Is that the same guy that ends up shooting them?
Keep an eye on, because this is the one that essentially instigated this issue. You can see he's wearing jeans and this is the color of his top. Just keep an eye on him. So as you can see, he's holding the pepper spray still, and it looks like he's hitting him in the face. It looks like he's swinging down and hitting Alex Preddy in the face. See, he's striking him with his pepper spray right now. Now we're going to go and look at some different people in this video, but I want you to keep in mind, this is somebody who instigated this. He started it. Now Alex Preddy is down, presumably unable to reach anything, even though he seems to be struggling right now, and he's striking him in the face with a pepper spray bottle or whatever this non-lethal agent is. Now I want you to be paying attention to the audio right here. So that's where you heard gun. And then you can see that one agent going into action. You can see him drawing his gun immediately. Now I'm going to show you precisely what happened and why I think the shooting occurred. You're going to have to watch very closely. We're going to watch this over and over again, but I want you to pay very close attention.
Got it.
First thing I want you to pay attention to is the man in the gray jacket right here that just walked into frame.
With you, honestly.
You see him reaching down. Now I believe that he's grabbing Alex Preddy's ankle right here. Now, I'm not sure if he was looking to see if he had a firearm on him right there or if he was trying to help hold him down. Now, I want you to pay very close attention to the man in the gray jacket. You see him remove the gun from Alex Preddy's pants. Right there. Let's watch this again a couple of times.
If we're holding the gun when we shoot the guy.
Right there. The second he pulled the gun out, you heard somebody yell gun. Now, we're going to have to go back so that you can understand why this happened the way it did and what led to a shooting. Now, what's stranger, though, is the behavior of the man who pulled the gun out. Now, the man in the gray jacket, he didn't say, I've disarmed him. He didn't do anything to prevent that. You literally see him turn around and run the other direction. Now, I'm going to show you that footage in a second. Before we get to that, though, I want you to watch the officer in the jeans. Now, right now, he's shuffling around a little bit. The ice is probably slippery. He doesn't have much authority right here. This is not somebody who's standing confidently, who seems to have an appraisal of what's going on, who seems calm. This is someone who seems a little bit scattered right here. Now, he's leaning over. He's observing all of the chaos. Now, keep in mind, the officer in the gray jacket right now is in the process of obtaining the gun. He has probably got his hand on it right at this moment. That right there is precisely when the gun left Alex Preddy's possession. Now you hear this man yell, gun, gun, gun. I do believe the man in the jeans is the one that yelled gun, gun, gun. I'm not positive of that. I think that he was, because I think that as he saw the gun getting removed by the officer in the gray jacket, he just saw a gun and started yelling gun, 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 and drew his own.
Well, we don't
Watch
know
this
that.
again
Everyone's
right here.
mouths are covered.
That was the first time we heard the word gun yelled. I know it's really hard to hear this, but the word gun was just yelled. Now this officer in the jeans has his hand on his own gun, and he is getting ready to draw. But I believe he's the one that yelled gun. Now he's aiming his gun directly at Alex Preddy. Now keep in mind, Alex Preddy, this is Alex Preddy's back that's being aimed at right here. Alex Preddy's arms, I believe, are in front of him. And if you watch the man in the gray jacket, he's getting ready to turn around and go the other direction.
What's up, Weebo?
Now watch
Welcome
the
in.
legs of the officer holding his gun. I'm going to go back. I want you to just pay attention to his legs. You saw him shuffling from the left to the right. You see the way he's holding his arms. This is a panic response. This is not the response of a confident officer who believes he's necessarily making the right decision. He's panicking right now from what I can see. Now this other officer has literally pulled the gun out, and that's as soon as he starts aiming the gun is no longer present. It is no longer visible, and that's when he aims the gun at him. Now pay attention to the officer in the gray jacket right here. I want to show you the immediate response once he gets a hold of the gun. So right there, this is the point where he has the gun. The shooting has now started right here, and he is literally running away and not looking back. Now, at this point, when he took the firearm, as far as I can tell, because we couldn't hear it, he didn't announce to everybody else that he had the firearm, that the man had been disarmed. And you could argue, well, maybe he thought he had a second firearm. Maybe he thought he had one somewhere else. It would be a really bad idea to turn your back on someone if you believe that they are armed and dangerous still.
Valley Hill, ex-Canadian socialist.
This I find peculiar. His reaction to this, the fact that he decided to run from this situation without announcing that he had the gun, that the man had been disarmed, that Alex Preddy was no longer armed, I find strange. Let's watch this one last time. Now, you may be wondering whether or not this officer believed there was actually a credible threat. Based on how panicked he seemed, it seems very possible that he genuinely believed there was a threat. Now, did it make sense, considering the fact that Alex Preddy would not be able to reach behind his back like that in the position he was in? No, it wouldn't make sense. That would be bad judgment. But it's possible that he may even say he remembers him reaching for a gun. He remembers seeing it. Because human memory is really, really bad. That's part of the reason I always go back and show the same thing over and over again so that people can actually see what I'm talking about. You don't have to take my word for it. You can watch for yourself.
If I stream it, I remember it.
Accounts is possibly going to be tainted by their expectations. Perceptions can be tainted by that. So hopefully, if this goes anywhere, if there is any sort of legal pursuit, they're able to use objective footage like what we have here. Because nobody is going to have a firsthand account that is going to be fully
30 seconds.
accurate. Because in heightened situations like this, perception becomes very, very distorted. All right, let's go ahead and wrap things up here. Hopefully this is helping you better understand some of the behavior, body language, and psychology that led up to this unbelievable tragedy. My goal in this video is to help you see this as objectively as possible, to look at the details that matter, that help you understand the situation. Because these situations are so emotional, it can be very difficult to be objective about it. But hopefully going over all of these details has helped you get some clarity on what actually
Kaya,
happened
welcome
in this
back.
situation. If you have any thoughts about this or if there's anything else you want me to analyze, please let me know in the comments below. Last thing before we get finished up is I do want to remind you to like and subscribe.
Get out of here. Remember, my friends, like and subscribe to the Dome. What do you think, Dome? What do you think? I know the guy's a soy boy. I know the guy. I know the guy's not on our side. But what do you think of the footage? Ballyho, Elite Domer, Taz, Shay, nice to see you tonight. Caller Fatty says, this guy is a bullshitter that's never been in the shit, says caller. M. Wiles says, expert testimony, sure. Lawyer, nope, says M. Wiles. Little Philly says, a lawful but awful shooting. I love that comment from Little Philly. I love that. I'm okay with that, Little Philly. Yes. I think that's how I would. I love that comment, Little Philly. A lawful but awful and unfortunate shooting. Lenny says, fuck around, find out. David here says, why did the guy run? Why did the guy run once he disarmed him? That's a good point. Weevo says, the people on the other side of the street didn't die or get shot. Why? Because they complied. I agree with that too, Weevo. I do. Ronny says, if I interfered in a SWAT team kicking the door in of a drug lord, what should I expect to happen? I agree with all of these things. But the situation that we're in right now, because of this unfortunate situation that happened, we're now done with mass deportations, it seems like. It seems like we're going to run away from doing mass deportations altogether. And that's something I don't get. Elite number Florida Pat says, Mr. Pat says that the victim was called early to be there through the signal chat. Definitely premeditated interference. Having a gun doesn't make that look good. I agree. M. Wiles says the guy ran because he's afraid of guns. Taz Bichet says, it's just classic Black Swan false flag event, says Taz Bichet. What's up, Overtax? Welcome in, Ballyho. Andy says, see how not to get your ass beat by the police by Chris Rock. Rob says, I think people who protest border enforcement should actually be executed. So I'm not concerned that he didn't have his gun drawn and aimed at officers. That is a strong comment, Rob. Welcome to the Political Dome. Love it. Dome Stop Believin' join us. More controlled propaganda, says Dome Stop Believin'. What's going on with this goal? What's up with this like goal? Is this the like goal must not be working today? What the heck's going on? There's no way we're only at 2 likes. I love it. We're talking about a guy getting shot and I'm worried about the like goal. Refresh that shit. Now it's at 0? Okay. All right. Let's go on to what's next. These videos, that's much better. That's what I'm talking about. These next videos put out by the White House today. Follow me.
Go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby.
The best is yet to come.
You're right, Domer12. The best is yet to come now that you hit that follow button. You must have been here before. Domer12. How can we have a new follower named or is that just a coincidence? It was meant to happen. Video released by the White House today.
In Minneapolis, we will not cooperate with ICE or any federal agency.
So what happened just now? What they are doing is...
What's up, Don Elite Domer? Welcome in.
...causing chaos and distrust. But these Border Patrol officers are...
Of course, I bear responsibility to bring down the temperature.
To ICE, get the f*** out of Minneapolis.
Sure, that's part of my role as mayor. And by the way, protests here in Minneapolis are peaceful.
The desire to get out and protest and to speak up to this administration of how wrong this is, that is a patriotic duty. That is a patriotic duty.
We have had perhaps tens of thousands of people peacefully protesting. Yeah, they are going to stand up for their neighbors.
The human desire to lash out in this moment is very real.
Oh my God.
And from here on, I have a very simple message. We do not need any further help from the federal government.
One more video that was released today by the White House.
ICE arrests an illegal immigrant who allegedly caused a multi-car pileup while driving an 18-wheeler that crashed last year, severely injured 6-year-old Delilah Coleman, leaving her with critical and life-altering injuries.
She's receiving physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy. She hasn't said much since the accident, if maybe 2-3 words. She has a TBI. She is now diagnosed with cerebral palsy and global developmental delay. She doesn't walk. She receives nutrition through a G-tube.
An illegal alien is now facing deportation after he was allegedly driving drunk when he killed a mother and daughter in a horrific wrong-way crash. The Mexican national has a lengthy rap sheet, including 2 DUI arrests this year alone.
According to court documents, Velasquez Gomez squeezed the buttocks over the clothes of a 9-year-old girl in October and a 7-year-old girl and 11-year-old girl at the same TJ Maxx in April and in September.
Her daughter was 13 years old when she met this man. In March, Pineville police charged Castillo Chavez with indecent liberties and other sex-related charges. He has since bonded out.
An illegal immigrant driver was seen sucker punching him in the face and knocking him out. That
Well,
attack
at least
left
it
him
didn't hit the
hospitalized
dog.
with a brain injury. He's an illegal immigrant from Russia, 42 years old.
A 61-year-old Durham man died in a hit-and-run. We now know the man charged in his death was in the country illegally and had already been deported twice.
On Thanksgiving morning last week, a mom had to say goodbye to her 11-year-old son, who died in the hospital hours after being hit as he played in the street. He was struck by a car who did not stop and simply drove away from the scene. 44-year-old Balderas is an illegal immigrant from Mexico who had previously been deported on 4 separate occasions.
Kumar's semi jackknifed on Highway 20 last week. 2 people drove into it and were killed. 25-year-old William Carter of Springfield and 24-year-old Jennifer Lower of John Day. The newlyweds had just married 16 days earlier.
Elite Member Andy says, thanks, Joe Biden. Exactly. Thank you, Joe Biden. Okay, those videos released within the last 48 hours by the White House on their YouTube page.